Hello again, Algebra 2. Let's talk about some of this multiplication that we're seeing on this same sheet. All right, so we will go down and let's just start with number 5 here, okay? So if there's nothing really I can do with a 15 square root of 2, but let's look at this negative 2 square root of 20. So let's go ahead and simplify that square root of 20. So let's look at its factors. I've got 2 and 10, 2 and 5. So the square root of 20 is going to give me the square root of 2 times 2 times 5. Now, if you don't have to do all these steps, that's okay if you can look at it and simplify it. I'm doing the steps just so that you know where it's all coming from. Here's 2 2's, so now I've got 2 square root of 5 here. All right, so now what I've actually got in my question here is 2 square root of 2 times, I've got negative 2 there coming from here, and then I've got another 2 square root of 5. So let's multiply those. 15 square root of 2 times negative 4 square root of 5. So now when I get ready to multiply these, I'm actually going to multiply what's inside the square root sign. So I'm going to multiply 15 times my negative 4, and I'm going to multiply the square root of 2 times the square root of 5. All right. So my 15 times my negative 4 is going to give me what? 4 times 5 will give me 20. 4 times 1 is 60. So there's my negative 60. Then this is like having the square root of 2 times 5 underneath there. So I've got negative 60 times the square root of 10 now. And you really need to simplify that 10. But look here, I've already kind of got that done over here. 10 is the same thing as 2 and 5, and there's nothing really I can do with it. So my answer to this question is 60 square root of 10. Okay. And so you didn't necessarily have to do the simplification on the 21st, but it helped in the end because you didn't have to simplify the 10. So if we, let's go on down to the multiplication in number 9. This is just like distribution. So if I had, say, 2 times x minus 3, I would multiply my 2 times my x and my 2 times my 3 and get 2x minus 6. I can do the same thing here, or I can go through and simplify everything first. I'm going to simplify it first just because it makes the multiplication easier. So I'm looking for the square root of 27. So let's look at all my factors of 27. That's going to give me, what, 3 and 9, and 9 is going to give me 3 and 3. So if I've got the square root of 27, it's the same thing as having the square root of 3 times 3 times 3. Here's 2 3's, so I've got 3 square root of 3. And then, is there anything I can do with that 6? There shouldn't be, so I think it's just stuck the way it is. So now I've got 2 square root of 3 times 3 square root of 3 minus 8 square root of 6. So now what I'm going to do is take and multiply this one by here, and then multiply this one by here, and then I'll perform my subtraction if I can. So the first thing you've got is 2 square root of 3 times 3 square root of 3. Then I've got my subtraction, and I've got 2 square root of 3 times 8 square root of 6. So to do this, I'm going to have 2 times 3, which is 6. And I'll multiply the insides, which gives me square root of 9. I'm going to subtract here, and I got 2 times 8 gives me 16, and 3 times 6 gives me 18. Now, square root of 9 I already know is 3, so this is just like having 6 times 3 minus 16 square root of 18. 3 times 6 is going to give me, what, 18 minus 16 square root of 18. Let's see if we figure out what that 18 actually is, though, with our factoring. So 18 is going to give me 2 and 9. 9 is going to give me 3 and 3. So that's going to be the square root of 2 times 3 times 3. There's my 2 3's. I can do 3 square root of 2. Now, so this here is going to give me 18 minus this, can't forget our 16, 3 square root of 2. So once I did that multiplication, that would then give me my answer. If you look at number 11, you're going to FOIL this. So I'm going to look for my firsts, my outside, my inside, and my last. And that's how I'm going to multiply these. Y'all please excuse my 2-year-old. All right, so now to multiply this, my firsts are 10 times 10. All right, my outsides are going to be 10 and negative 3 square root of 7. So I'm going to have minus 10 times 3 square root of 7. The insides are going to be those, so I'm going to have plus 10 times 3 square root of 7. And then my last are 3 square root of 7 and 3 square root of 7. So then I'm going to have minus 3 square root of 7 times 3 square root of 7. And so let's multiply this out. 10 times 10 is going to give me a 100. The 10 times 3 there is going to give me minus 30 square root of 7. My plus there is going to give me plus 30 square root of 7. And the 3 square root of 7 times 3 square root of 7 is going to give me a minus 9 square root of 49. All right. If you look, these two terms here are going to cancel out. So now I have 100 minus 9 square root of 49 is 7. So 9 times 7, I'll let y'all finish that. All right. On number 12, it's going to be very, very similar. Actually, number 11 and 12 both are similar. Number 12, though, you're going to have to kind of split it out. 3 minus 2 square root of k times 3 minus 2 square root of k. All right. Let's look at the next page. All right, my next video will be on dividing then.